In this video, we're going to take a quick look at creating a blinking light using the Arduino and the breadboard. I don't expect you to know anything about the Arduino, but you do have to have an Arduino. We're going to make a quick blinking light. We're going to get right to the point, and we're not going to get into the technical details. We're just going to know how to make this thing and move on from there. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. So let's get started. Before we get started with the Arduino, we have to actually download some software that we're going to need in order for everything to work the way we want it to work, get the blinking light to blink. And so the software we're going to need is over here at www.arduino.cc. You're going to go to this website, and then you're going to go to software, and then go to downloads. From here, you can then go here to getting started and getting more information and using the web editor, or you can go here and download the Windows app. And I do this because I like to use the Arduino on a USB and I can use it anywhere. So I go ahead and download the Windows. If you have Windows, if you have Mac, go ahead and download this one here, and obviously Linux. So the one that I think you probably should download is this non-admin install. This is the one where you can use at schools and you can use any other place, so you don't have a problem with it installing itself within the system. So this is the one that I'll be using for this video. The next software, in a way, is not really software where you download, but the online software. What we're going to use is this circuito.io. So it's not circuit.io, it's circuito.io, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. You want to go here because we're going to use this to actually put together our system before we even touch the actual physical Arduino. So those are the two things you're going to need. Once you have those things, you can go ahead and get started creating our blinking light. So now that you have all that software ready, I'm going to go here to the circuit.io. I'm going to go to app. And you don't have to have an account, but it's kind of good to have an account, because the great thing about this website is the fact that not only are they using the Arduino, they're using all the parts, but when you put the parts together, you can actually purchase them directly from this site. So it's really good way to go about doing this. Another place you can purchase anything Arduino is actually Amazon. If you type in Arduino starter kit inside of Amazon, you'll get a lot of different types of Arduino starter kits. There's this one for $72, like I said before, but actually I believe the one that I'm using is one of the most affordable ones, and I do have this one, so that one's pretty good too. It comes with a lot more in there, but this is the one. This one is completely fine. You can see you have the breadboard, you have everything you need to get started. You have the lights, you have the battery pack, you have the LCD, and basically they give you the Arduino. There's really no problem with this one. It's really good. So it's affordable. So I would go ahead and purchase this, and then you can actually get started with everything that we're talking about here on these videos and the future videos to come. So now let's go ahead and structure our system here. We're going to create a blinking light. And so the first thing I can do is, while on this website, I'm going to go here to outputs, and I can go ahead and type in LED. There we go. So I have this blue LED, and maybe we'll use a green LED. So I'm just drag that LED here. And what you'll notice is that what this system does, it automatically connects everything for us. Now, we don't have to use this connection 100%, but here's the great thing about this site. Once it connects everything, you'll go here to the code, and you'll see it actually writes the code for you here. We're not going to use this code because this really will get us a little bit confused. So what we're going to do is create our own code, but at least you know that if you were to build it here, you can download the zip, and the zip will have all the information in there that you need to run this LED light. So once we have this schematic going on here that we're going to pretty much copy, we now go to our Arduino. So here's everything we're going to need. We're going to need our breadboard. Let me push this over here a little bit. We're going to need our breadboard. We're going to need our Arduino. We're going to need two wires, one for, and I chose this one, this red one, for, that's going to be the wire to the power. This is going to be the ground wire, the black wire. We have a resistor, and I'll show you which one we're going to get with that. Inside of this package, they give you this package of resistors, and they're hooked into this little tape, this little piece of paper thing here. Now, the thing about this is that when you look at this piece of paper, there is a number on there. Like this says 100 ohm, and then there's another one that says, each one of them has the level of the level of the resistor with a number. So like here, this one says 330. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but right here it says 330 ohm up there. So that's how we know what resistors we have. There's another way we know, is that we get this sheet of paper with the starter kit, this pamphlet, and this pamphlet actually tells you, depending on the stripes, which resistor you'll be using. So you can either use this like it has 1, 10, 100, 1K, 10K, 100K, and so on and so forth. So depending on the stripes on the resistor will tell you what level it can resist in a way by the bands that's on the resistor. So you can either do it that way. When you get the starter kit, however, the resistors come in this pack, and on top of this pack it tells you right up there that this is a 330 ohm resistor. This is probably the one we'll be using. So that's what I have here, 330 ohm resistor. So all you need to do is just pull this out here. Be careful so you don't break it. Just going to pull it out like this. And then I'll just set it right there so we can use it. I already had one out, but I just wanted to show you guys that that's what we can do. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is start setting up the breadboard. I'm just going to move the Arduino over to the side. We're going to set up this breadboard. So I'm going to put the breadboard something like this. And right now I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G here on this side here. And then I also have A, B, C, D, E, F, G on this side here. One thing you need to understand is that when we hook in electricity inside of the breadboard, what's going to happen is that it's going to start flowing this way. It's going to flow downward like this. It doesn't flow across. The only time the electricity will flow across is when the electricity is placed here. So if I were to put something here and put power to this wire here, what'll happen is the energy will flow from left to right. So it'll be the same down here. So these bottom strips will do that. But when you don't have those top strips and the bottom strips, and you're putting it somewhere in this center part, it'll go from top to bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up. I'm going to put this in 60 so we can know exactly where we are. So there's this number here that says 60. But I'm going to put it in row B. So column 60, row B. That's where I'm going to put it. So the second one. So I'm leaving some space up at the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this, I'm going to put the ground wire in row B, but 61, right next to that one there. So now all I need to do is take this resistor, and I'm going to put it on the side of the ground, and I'm going to put one leg in C. Well, the next one below, and I'm going to use the two holes right below the ground to go ahead and place both of those legs in each hole. So now I have my resistor set. And as you can see, I have my ground, I have one-legged resistor, second-legged resistor, and I have one extra hole below that. And over here I have the power. So now all I need to do is go ahead and add the LED. And then when you look at the LED, you'll notice that it actually has one side smaller than the other, or one side longer than the other. Just to let you know, the longer side is the positive side, and the shorter side is the negative side. So we want to make sure that when we're sticking this LED in here, we want to make sure that the longer side is on the power side. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the remaining two holes I have at the bottom. Now all I need to do is hook this up to the Arduino. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the Arduino in here. And when you look at the Arduino, remember we're not going to get into too many technical concepts. When you look at the Arduino, what you have is you have these numbers over here on the left-hand side with the USB facing out that way. And then over here on the right-hand side, you have these other numbers over here, which are the digital numbers. So you have the analog numbers and then the digital numbers. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up this ground to, we could set the ground over here. There's a ground over here and there's two grounds over here. So when you're setting up the ground over here, you got to make sure that it's right in line with the word ground if you're going to be setting it up on the digital side. And also on the digital side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up in slot number 4. So these slots, they start off with 0, and then you can go up 3 to get to 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3. And the third one over here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. So now I have everything all set up and ready to go. All I need to do now is go ahead and start up the Arduino software that we downloaded. So now that we have our sketch opened up, and that's what these are called sketches. Whenever you have a program that you're going to put inside the Arduino, each one is called a sketch. You can save them anywhere. It's just a regular file that you're able to save. C# code, C++ code basically, with elements that are specific to the Arduino in here. So this is what makes this IDE so impressive and makes it so much easier for us to create anything we need to create and add the code to it. But again, this video is not about teaching you to code. It's simply about us understanding what we need to put together to get our light to blink. And we do need code, but we're not going to go over all the aspects of coding and the fundamentals of computer programming and coding. So when we first open up the Arduino IDE, I'm using 1.8.7. So just keep that in mind. If you are using an older version, make sure you update. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go here to File. I'm going to go down here to Example. I'm going to go over here to Basics, and then I'm going to go here to Blink. So once I have this open, you're going to see this Blink application that pops up. It wrote everything for us. It has everything that we need down there. The only thing we need to change is that if we were to upload this to our Arduino, it's not going to make our LED blink. It's going to make a light on the board blink. And this is a special word right here that tells it, hey, go to the light that's on the board and make it blink. We want to utilize the fact that we set our wires to number 4 on our board. So instead of this saying LED bulletin, basically what we can do is take that and put it to the number on the digital slot that we put ours in, and ours is number 4. So all we need to do is change that LED bulletin to number 4. Now again, this is not the perfect programming way to do it, but it gives us an understanding of exactly what we're doing. So once I do that, we can break this down to saying set the pin mode to number 4. That's where our electricity is going. Okay. The energy is going to number 4. And this is going to be our output, which we're okay with that being this way. Then when we go down here, we have this loop that's going to happen over and over again. Everything between this void loop and this opening bracket and this closing bracket, all of this stuff will happen over and over and over again. Now, anything after these 2 slashes, you can just ignore. That's just like notes to yourself, you know, like in Word or something like that. There are these notes that no one's really meant to put part of the final project. It's just meant there for the people who are working on it to understand what this code means or what this line means. So here we have this digital write, and we're writing some digital output to number 4, and it's going to be high. And high, you can see as on, and then see low as off. So as you can see here, this code says it's going to be high, and it's going to wait for some seconds, and then it's going to be low, then it's going to wait for some seconds, and this is how we get a blink. High, low, and it just keeps looping like that over and over again. So now we're ready to go ahead and put this onto our Arduino. So once we hook our Arduino up to the USB, so as you can see here,
I have, let me adjust this. I have my Arduino hooked into the USB, and that then hooks into the USB port of the computer. Once I do that, I go over here to my application and I go to Tools, and I'm going to go here to Ports, and then you will see a COM port that says Arduino. It has Arduino next to it. That's the one you're going to want. So you go ahead and click that. Mine is COM port 5. Yours might be COM port 3. Whatever COM port has the Arduino name next to it, that's the one you want to choose. And so you go ahead and do that, and now we're ready to upload this. But before we upload this, we want to check our code to make sure there's no errors. So we go and click on this verify button, and we notice it's done compiling. There's no problems. Now all we need to do is upload this to our Arduino. We click on, push on that, and once we do that, what you will see, if everything is hooked up right, our Arduino is now powering our light with that code. Now there's a few things you want to do. There's a few things you want to do. You're going to want to experiment with the numbers here. So let me adjust this camera. So you want to experiment with the numbers here. So if I were to go here and say, okay, instead of delaying 1,000, I'm going to delay 500. Now, you can only guess that this should make the blink happen a little bit faster. So I'm going to save this with I can save this in anywhere I want. So I can save it in my library or my file on my desktop or whatever. And so you're going to want to save this file by hitting Control S or going here to File and Save, or Save As, and save it wherever you want. As you can see here on my desktop, I saved it on my desktop. And if you go in there, you'll see there's this blink INO, and that's my sketch. So I can always upload that and change it anytime I want. Now, here what I want to do is I want to experiment. So I'm going to go ahead and change those numbers, and then I'm going to go ahead and verify. Let me verify it first. Once it's verified, now I can go ahead and upload it. And now when you look at my blinking, you'll notice it's blinking a lot faster now. Now the last thing we want to be able to do is kind of, fix our code a little bit, so every time we need to change this, we don't have to keep changing these numbers here. And we want to add some simple code to what we're doing here. So we're going to go up here at the top, and we're going to type INT, and we're going to type pen, and then we're going to say equals 4, and with a semicolon at the end of that. Once we do that, we're going to take this word pen, and we're going to replace all the 4s. Now the reason why we did that is so that whenever we want to change the pen, we don't have to go up here and change every one of these. We just go up here and just change one of these, and it will propagate throughout the other one. So I'm going to verify that. And the sketch is ready. And even when I upload this, what you will see is that the light is exactly the same. There's no change. We can do the same thing with this delay. Instead of going in here and changing these delays, we can go in here and type INT. And we're going to type DL. We're not going to type the whole word like delay. We're going to type like this because that's a special word. As you can see, it turns orange. So we're going to type it, misspell it like delay, like that. And then we're going to say equals. We'll go back to 1,000 and semicolon. And now I'm just going to take this word delay and I'm going to replace it with that 500. And I'm going to save that. I'm going to check it. No problems. And then I'm going to upload it. And everything should work exactly the same. And there you have it. You had a quick, small lesson on variables. I didn't want to use any words, any programming words. A little bit of programming. And we were able to set up our lights and our Arduino so that it's able to blink. We can advance so much on this, but this at least gives you some insight as to how the Arduino work and how to quickly get started without having to worry about all the technical concepts that go along with this sort of stuff. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.